Hello there. It's Greg and Pat here from Aligned Wealth in Miami. And today we're here to talk about something different that you're not going to hear us talking about a lot. It's what is Pat bearish on? And, Pat is one of the great bulls, the correct bulls for many, many, many years. But he's actually a very thoughtful investor that thinks about all sides, including what's coming around the corner. So we thought we'd take a little time today to talk about some of the things that you are less constructive on.
Yeah, I'm sort of super bearish on two real estate markets, Michigan and Washington D.C. area for different reasons, and Germany in general. I
Let's
think
hear
that
about why.
okay, well, we'll start with just cars, right? So my view is if you have a Tesla with FSD, you know that the future is already here. And I always blabber about this, that my Tesla drives me to work, it drove me to work, et cetera, et cetera. Well, Tesla and Waymo are opening up their cars in Miami, in Austin, everywhere, these driverless taxis. And I think this stuff is going to take the metro markets in the United States by storm. I think people are going to drop their cars much faster than folks think. And I think it's going to have a really positive net effect on the overall economy because I think it's, Tesla's talking about their taxis are going to be 20 cents a mile is the cost, which is incredibly cheap. So it's going to be way cheaper not to own a car, not have to pay to park, not have to pay for insurance, all the rest of it. Like I think relatively soon. And I think 60% of the country lives in these metro areas. They're going to ditch their cars. Now that's net bullish for the general public. I think it's really bad for specific types of real estate, for specific industries. Number one, obviously Detroit, I think is toast. I think as people start to get these electric cars, they're going to buy less gas cars. And I think it'll happen really fast. And I think it'll happen really fast. I think like 3 or 4 years from now, you'll be surprised how quickly this is. I think, and I think Germany is even in bigger trouble. I mean, I think BYD, which is the Chinese car maker, is rapidly taking market share in Europe because their cars are amazing.
Products are amazing.
Yeah, their products are incredible and they're way cheaper. And if you have an electric car, it's like they're amazing. So who does that hurt? That hurts obviously anybody who's driving an Uber. It hurts, but it really hurts is property owners, people who own parking garages, parking space.
Historically, one of the best assets you could own.
Exactly. And I think it'll happen really quickly that people get rid of these cars. And that's what's coming. So that's going to hurt a lot of people. It's going to hurt the auto parts business and the auto service business, like in a material way, right? Like how fast? I don't know. But I mean, just imagine the slope of their earnings growth just starts dropping off, right? Because people are just going to get rid of cars. And then there's the other issue, which is just AI in general. Like, who's it going to hurt the worst, the fastest? We have an enormous budget deficit in the United States of America. We owe way too much money. Washington, D.C. is just giant paper pushing. That's all it is. It's pushing paper all over the place. I think it will not take a long time for politicians to realize that they're going to have to cut a lot of jobs in D.C. And AI will give them the lever to do that. Whether it's quote unquote dodging things, finding fraud, whatever you want to call it. I mean, think about the job of government, right? Imagine that you build buildings in Miami, right? Why does it take so long to build a building? Because it takes forever to get your permits approved. What is a permit? Permit is a document you send in your plans and someone matches those plans to whatever the standards are for that community. And that takes 6 months, cost a fortune, slows down your process. All that stuff's going to get automated. All those jobs are going to be gone.
That'll take a lot of political will, right? Not just the technology. Technology, probably everyone agrees, is there.
Yeah, but here's why I think it's going to happen, right? When stuff changes when it's forced to. Yeah. And what's going to happen is we're going to have a lot of unemployment and people are not going to feel bad for government workers. There's probably going to be a new deal of some sort, meaning like there's going to be some base level of income that people are going to want. And in order to have that, you're probably going to have to rip up the existing system because there's not enough dollars to do all these things. And that's just some way, somehow, I think we're going to get there. But so I'm very bearish on the first wave of automation, which is going to be the driverless cars. And I think they're here. They're here. And the downstream effects of that, it's going to be net positive for the country. And I'm bearish on government. I mean, if you're making a living off government, if you live around a lot of government, don't buy a house because everyone's going to be selling them. And what are they going to do if they're out of government? So I am bearish about some things for sure.
Yeah. So you heard it here. So for all of you that say Pat's only bullish, it's not true. And there's a couple of thoughts that are, I think, non-consensus and ahead of the curve. We'll see how they play out, but these are some of the things we're thinking about.
Thanks. And by the way, if you like listening to Greg and I, become a client. Send us your portfolio information. We'd love to talk to you. Please like and subscribe to Aligned.
Thank you.
Take care.